Hello, my little sugar boogers. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having an amazing day so far. I cannot wait to go ahead and share with you guys what I've been doing in my free time. Now, hold your horses and control your stallions. I don't really have a lot of free time, to be honest with you guys. So there's not going to be a lot of content in this current household. And if I need to go ahead and, throw it down what a current household is, it isn't a new LP. It isn't really gameplay in any way, shape, or form. It's more or less just me kind of talking to you, simmer to simmer, friend to friend about the adventures I've been on in my downtime. So typically, like, my biggest faux pas is mixing pleasure with work in a way. As much as I consider this mostly a hobby, it's a jabby, I suppose you could call it. And I never like to make my current households turn into anything more. I don't really like them to ever become LPs. And I did that with the Pancake family. It takes a lot for me to really immerse myself in a gameplay and get attached to The Sims to the point where I want to play and play and play and play. I can't really say that I'm quite there with the Chesler family yet, but I definitely was with the Pancake family, and I feel like I gave a little slice of me to you guys, and I wasn't really ready to do that, but I don't regret it for a second, because honestly, I think that actually creates just more passion. So, basically, my whole entire point of that is don't ask me to make this an LP, because it's not going to happen. Maybe the story lane, maybe something similar in the future, but for right now, this is me, mine, and yeah, it's mine only. So I went ahead and decided, you know what, girl, when you do have some time, just to chill, you should play The Sims, on your free time. So I went ahead and I just kind of was playing in cast, just like on a whim. And I created Genesis Chesler. I really don't have a huge backstory for her. I just know when I created her, she originally had really short hair. It was very pixie-ish. Super, 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 super cute. Like, she, like, a very petite frame, not really something typically I would make. Like, she was just, like, it was like a random generated sim. And I just loved her from, like, the first moment I laid my eyes on her. And I really, like, kind of saw her story speaking to me as I'm going through cast and I'm creating her. And that's where I get my stories from. So many of you guys ask me, hey, Jen, like, where do your stories come from? Like, I don't have some sort of, like, elaborate, like, formulation or like, something super intricate and creative. It's oftentimes when I'm just creating the sim and molding them that I feel their stories speaking to me through their eyes. It's like hella romantic. I don't know. So when I created Genesis, first of all, her name is just, like, it's gorgeous, So if you have that name, you are so freaking fortunate, because it's a beautiful name. I wanted her to be different. I wanted her to stand out. Right now she does look basic with her freaking braids and, like, her Kylie Jenner dress, but, like, whatever, I really wanted her to stand out, and I feel like she did in the beginning. I feel like everything I wanted this personal current household to be, it's not, but that's okay. That's all right, Hopefully I'll redeem the reins. So one of the things I didn't want for her to happen, and I guess I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but this happens when I do these videos. I coming from, oh, she just farted. No, it's the toilet. Okay, I was going to say, damn, girl, you a dirty little bird. But anyways, you a dirty little baddie. Okay, I need to pause because I'm trying to, like, go on with one part of the conversation. If you guys are like me, it is the most annoying thing ever. Will you have, like, two conversations that pop into your head and, like, you legit need to get both of them out right on the table? That's me. That's why so many times, and I'm going on a third one, that in my LPs and stuff, like, it's hard for me to keep my train of thought. I may have a really short attention span. Oh, no. But let me start off with her backstory. So her backstory is this. She grew up in a poorer household. She had siblings from a different, like, her mother's different marriages and whatever. And one day, it's a little sad. She grew up in an abusive household. Her stepfather was very abusive to her. It's some family matters that, might be a little graphic for you guys. And it could be triggers for some who have actually dealt with some of these things. So I'm not going to get into it. But she basically grew up in an abusive household, very poor, having to always share things with her siblings, quote unquote, and kind of always being almost like that little Cinderella, always feeling like she was being put on the back burner, never feeling like she was important or adequate enough for her family's attention. One day, Mrs. Genesis packed her ish up and left her poor little home in the city, and she decided to basically start a life for herself. She's always, ever since a little girl, had big goals and dreams and ambitions. She's always had a really tight head on her shoulders. She's always thought of, other people before herself. She just has a really genuine, clean soul. So pure, so angelic in a way. And even though she went through some of these horrific things that no person nor sim should ever have to go through, it didn't steal her shine. It didn't take away that precious gift that she was born with, and that was almost her innocence, right? So Genesis has always stood true. She's always stood out from the crowd. She's never really blended in. She just has like a really unique personality. So when she came to Oasis Springs, she found this cheap little house, with all the money that she had been saving up from working at her waitress job back in her hometown. And she invested it into this small little lot. And it still needs work here and there, but it was hers, and it was her own, and it was her own space where she felt safe and comfortable. And she went out on the town on her first night, where she actually bumped into Johnny Zest. She didn't bump into him on the town. He actually lived, I think, in this house over here, right? So he came over and greeted her, brought her some fruitcake. That's how it all starts. And at first she was like, Johnny Zest, like, ew, he's like such, like, more of like a friend material. She almost instantly friend zoned him, like, swear to you. Like, it was not going to be anything that it is, or that it is presently. At least she didn't think so. So yeah, totally friend zoned, like, immediately, but he encouraged her to go out, and he's like, you need to meet other people, you need to be your age, you need to go out and do these things. And she's never had the opportunity to like really have friends or anything, because she was so focused on her home life and working. So he took her out and showed her a good time, and she used to go throw up. And it was almost like their connection was starting without her having any notion of its existence. It was really kind of cool. So basically, over time, they started forming a bond. And because of her fatherly example not being the most supportive, she kind of almost started to lean on Johnny for this emotional support system. It's getting deep, guys. It's getting deep. To the point where she almost couldn't feel like she could exist without him. Like, he became a part of her, like a body part, like, that was slowly becoming attached. And it came to the point where, they got a little more intimate, and they got a little more closer. And they honestly, you guys, were and aren't anything. Just friends who were not putting labels on anything, but just kind of enjoying each other's company. Well, a little too much. So one day they woohooed, and I kid you not, sounds like my previous freaking story. They woohooed, and it was a unplanned pregnancy. And as you can imagine, Mrs. Genesis here, who's actually going to, going into her internship to become some sort of like big, writer, because she really wants to write about her story, and she really wants to become, somebody really known in the book realm, I guess you could say. Kind of put a damper on her plans, which is unfortunate, because now she's pregnant, and she's gonna have a baby, and she's not ready. She honestly doesn't even know if she wants this child. She almost wants to give this kid up for adoption. Like, she isn't ready to have this baby, you guys. And Johnny is living with her as a support system. They aren't anything yet, but this part here is where she kind of kicks herself in the butt, because it's almost as if, she's ruined a good thing. She feels guilty, like she once again ruined something, like, and she shouldn't feel that way, because it was equally their part, but she's afraid that by having this baby, it's going to completely demolish their friendship and this like this codependency she's formed on Johnny. I thought that's a good thing. You shouldn't be codependent on anyone, but she really is. It's like he's her lifeline, I think you get the point. So where she's at right now in her life is she's battling, the dreams and the goals that she had, and the ambition, and she's realizing, that she's no longer, thinking of herself, but she's thinking of this baby inside of her, and what is she to do? Like, should she still pursue her dreams because she isn't fit to be a mom, or should she take this adventure and go with it? That's kind of the things that she's dealing with right now as a person, and she'll grow from it and she'll get past it. But to be honest with you, I don't know what's going to happen, and I say that all the time because I truly don't. Genesis may or may not keep the baby. when it's born, she may give the baby up for adoption, which I totally plan on allowing this baby to go with a welcoming family here in my game, and who knows what could occur. So I'm a little interested in seeing how this story will unfold and take place, and these are the specific reasons why I get so immersed into my stories, because I think of these odd scenarios, and even if the scenario is the same, the outcome doesn't always have to be repetitive. Like, you know what I mean? People are like, oh, you always do this in your piece, or you always do that, but the outcome is never the same. It's always different, you know? So I don't know. That's just my little thing of my current household. Why we have Johnny Zest, who desperately needs a little zest in his life because he be wearing his grandpa's dirty old plaid, parka that smells like freaking mothballs in the summer heat. But he's enjoying himself because he's shirtless, damn near pantless, and he's watching himself some fine void critters on the TV. But let me go ahead and put the storyline aside and just tell you a little bit more about the personals. Right now we have Johnny. He's a jokester. He is actually working as an entertainer. He's an open mic seeker. So right now he's trying to be a comedian. He's trying to, make people laugh and make some coin off of his really witty jokes that suck like mine, to be honest. But hold on a second. Genesis' boss asked her to drop everything and watch for a possible breaking news story, but she's really, really busy. Should she focus in like she's supposed to, or just go about her day? Hope she catches it when it happens. I think she needs to focus in. That's me. Typical. It was a false alarm. Nothing happened. And all that time waiting was time Genesis could have spent writing. Of course, naturally, this would totally happen. Let's go have her work hard really fast. But yeah, so he's just basically making it by the skin of his teeth. I don't understand that metaphor, but people use it a lot, so I thought it was appropriate. What else could I say about him? He only makes $36 an hour. He really should be, working on his guitar and violin skill and even making some jokes of his own instead of paying his cheap writer to do it. Because it's not working out very well for him. These are his skills. He's pretty good at comedy, I suppose. He's working on his fitness a little bit. Johnny's always been a pretty scrawny guy, and he's, been made fun of so much for it, but he likes his body, so he's not going to really worry about that too much. This is his relationship panel. As you can see, Genesis is the apple of his eye. They're acquaintances and lovers, but they really don't know all that much about each other, and they're definitely not soulmates. Like, I don't think they're meant to be, but I don't think Genesis is ready to let it go quite yet. Personality, ambitious, goofball, outgoing, and gregarious. Yeah? What else do we have? Okay, so this is Genesis. She's actually supposed to become an adult, which is weird because I just created her and I literally played her for like 3 episodes. Don't know what happened. Okay. And what else? Let's see. Well, she could be older. That's fine. These are all of her skills in jazz. She's like a little bit of a jack of all trades. She has like skill in every little thing. And then her relationships, she knew Jose and he kind of liked her a little bit too. He's a librarian, by the way. But he's just not her type. And I swear to you, like, she tried to meet other people. She tried to, like, vibe with the other locals, but she really didn't find anybody that she felt like had that connection, And trust me, she wasn't expecting it to be from Johnny either. And so she's ambitious, outgoing, good, and business savvy. So I think, you guys, that's all I have to share with you today. I hope you all I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to go ahead and give this video a big fat thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think should happen in the comments down below where the sun does not shine. And I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.